Yeah. 1 minute. Vritti sarupam itaratra. It is very technical definition of vrittis. I mean mental modifications. Patanjali wants to say that if Purusa remains in his own state, in its own state, and the own state of Purusa is Nitya, Suddha, Buddha, Mukta. Nitya, that means the pure one. Shuddha, that means Nitya, that means the real one. Shuddha, that means pure one. Mukta, who is free, and Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Buddha, which is the knowledge and which is the freedom. Which is free from all the bondages of actions, from all the products of Prakriti, right? So when Purusha, the seer, remains its in own state, that means it remains in that Nitya Suddha Buddha Mukta state, then Chitta can't work. As Chitta is stable, that is why Purusha is in its own state. But when Purusha is not at that state, now because Chitta is active, and Chitta through the mind, through the buddhi, and through the I amness, it collects informations from the external world, right? So when Chitta is active, it goes to every object in this world and manifests itself according to that object. This is a Chitta Vritti. And that is why if you think about Golgappa, after a few minutes you can experience that your tongue, you have water in your mouth, right? This is the vritti, because now you are smelling Golgappa, you are almost tasting the Golgappa, right? This is the Chitta vritti, because now Chitta is manifests according to the Golgappa. Okay, this is the Chitta vritti, and this is the technical, the definition, vritti swarupyam itaratra. There are so many expressions. If we will have any, workshop about, word-to-word meaning of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, then we can explain all the, first we have to understand each and every word. Like, for example, we have understood about the definition of yoga, and first we have understood the 8 words, what is yoga, what is chitta, what is vritti, what is nirodha. Through this way we can understand the actual meaning and actual teaching of Yoga Sutra. Okay, so as it is not the exclusive class of Yoga Sutra, that is why I am just trying to make it, trying to make a sketch in front of you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
या सृष्टि सृष्टिरद्या वहति विधिहितं या हुवीर या च धत्रि ये द्वे कालं विधत्तः श्रुति विषयगणा या स्थिता वैप्य विश्वं या माहु सर्वबीज प्रकृति प्राणिनः प्राणवन्तः प्रत्यक्षाभिप्रपन्नस्तनुभिरवतु वस्ताभिरष्टाभि. Now the lecture number 6, and again it's a torture for you. I know that the philosophy for the students of yoga make a lot of confusion, but what can I do? We have to learn. You have to learn, and I have to speak something. So lecture number 6, and the topic is Iswara and Iswarapranidhana. It's very important topic for a student of yoga. And one good news is today's lecture is going to be very short, but I don't know it will be sweet or not. But yes, it will be very short. So, moving forward, why should we learn Iswara Pranidhana? The first question is, why should we learn? Look, the students of yoga know that from the beginning, at the beginning of the text, that means at the beginning of Yoga Sutra in first pada, Patanjali has given a very scientific definition of yoga, and through the understanding of that definition, a student of yoga now aware about what is yoga. That means now a student of yoga knows that what is the chitta, what is vritti, what is nirodha, and now he has the knowledge that yoga is actually restraining the chitta vrittis. Yoga is actually restraining the chitta vrittis. But now the question is, how can we restrain our chitta vrittis? And in our previous class, we have understood one technique, which is Abhyasa Vairagya. Now, Patanjali is teaching different methods through which we can control our mental modifications. The first way out was the Abhyasa Vairagya. But now, again, some students ask that, sir, I have understood the process, but it seems not suitable for me. Do you have any other option? Now, for those who is not comfortable, who are not comfortable in Abhyasa Vairagya, for them it is another path to achieve Samadhi. That is why Patanjali starts with the sutra Iswara Pranidhana Va. Va, the Sanskrit word Va means or. Or you can go through Iswara Pranidhana. That means it is another option. Another option for you. If the previous option is not suitable for you, then you can go through the Iswara Pranidhana, the another method. Yes, through the Iswara Pranidhana, again you can attain Samadhi. Now, to understand Iswara Pranidhana, first we have to understand what is Iswara. You know very well that Iswara is a very important term in Sankhya Yoga philosophy. In Sankhya Yoga philosophy. Because you all know that Sankhya counts Iswara, Sankhya doesn't count Iswara, whereas Yoga counts Iswara with a serious note. And that is why yoga is called Seswaravadi. According to yoga, the yoga also accepts that the manifestation begins due to the Sangyoga between the Purusha and Prakriti. But as Purusha is intellect but non-active and Prakriti is active but not intelligent, that is why yoga thinks that yoga, the Sangyoga, without the interference of an agent is not possible, because these two are different by nature. These two are very opposite in their nature. So there is no chance of Sangyoga without the interference of an agent. And according to yoga, that agent is Iswara, and that agent Iswara is actually conscious, highly powerful, and completely fulfilled. That kind of agent only can interfere between the supreme consciousness and the primordial cause. Patanjali also accepts Iswara, and to be very specific, Patanjali accepts Iswara's practical aspects. And that is why, according to Patanjali, Iswara could be a medium of concentration, it could be a path of samadhi, and therefore, actually, Iswara helps you to go forward in the path of samadhi. Now, Patanjali has used 3 sutras to describe the concept of Iswara. These sutras are Klesa Karma Vipaka Sair Aparamrishta Purusha Vishesha Iswaraha. Next, Tatra Nirati Sayang Sarvajna Vijam. And the third one is Purveshamapi Guruhu Kalena Anavacheda. So we must have a solid knowledge on these 3 sutras. So the first sutra is Klesa Karma Vipaka Sair Paramrishta Purusha Vishesha Iswaraha. First, we have to take care about the Purusha Vishesha Iswaraha. That means Iswara is Purusha Vishesha. That means Iswara is not exactly Purusha, but a special case of Purusha. And as it is the special case of Purusha, the pure consciousness, that is why it doesn't have a personality, and therefore Purusha doesn't have any form or body. Because the pure consciousness, the Purusha, is formless, and that is why the special case of Purusha, that means Iswara, is also formless. Actually, this Iswara is, Swatasiddha Praman. That means Iswara, yeah, Iswara is Swatasiddha Praman. That means Iswara is axiomatic presumption. What is it? That means as Iswara is the special case of Purusha, that is why Iswara doesn't need any proof to prove itself. Iswara doesn't need Pramana, doesn't need Anumana, doesn't need Agama, doesn't need any previous experience, doesn't need anything to compare. It can prove itself. That is why Iswara is Purusha Vishesha, that means the special case of Iswara. And again, Purusha is Klesa Karma Vipaka Soir Aparamrishta. Klesha means misery, karma, action, vipaka, fruits of action, and asaya, that means the desire. So, Iswara is something which is free, aparamrishta, free from klesha, misery, free from action, free from the fruits of the action, and free from the desire. That means it is nothing but the special case of Iswara. Only Iswara is desireless. Only Iswara is actionless. Only Iswara is free from all types of grief. And see the beauty. As Iswara is beyond the law of action, that is why, that means as Iswara has achieved the state of worklessness, that is why it doesn't have any interest in the fruits of the actions. And as it doesn't have any interest in fruits, that is why it doesn't have any desire. And as it is desireless, that is why it is beyond the miseries. It is free from the klesha. So the message is we can make ourselves Iswara if we can perform our duties without desire. Then we will be free from the fruits of the actions, and then we will be free from the kleshas. So Iswara is Purusha Vishesha, Iswara is special case of Purusha, and it is, as it is the Purusha Vishesha, special case of Purusha, that is why it is free from Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, and Asa. Actually, the message is Iswara is the microcosm, and the Purusha is the macrocosm. Through the understanding of the microcosm, you have to understand the macrocosm. And if I want to explain it in layman language, layman like language, then suppose uh, you go, if you go to the promoter to buy a flat in an under construction project, in an under construction complex, then we maybe we don't have the particular idea, we can't understand about the design of our kitchen, about is it the south facing or not, maybe, as it is the under constructed building. But now promoter will show you a dummy version. Through that dummy version, you can able to assume that yes, my flat will be in, will be good, will be bad. Yes, I must buy it, or no, I must leave it. Then you can take the decision through this dummy version. This Iswara is the dummy version of Purusha. It is a very beautiful contribution of Patanjali, because our target for an aspirant of yoga, the target is attaining the state of Purusha, but we don't have any idea about Purusha. That is why the path becomes very difficult. But Patanjali has understood the problem, and he has given an idea about Purusha. But as Purusha is the ultimate, so he did not explain it, he did not teach it. Nobody can teach it, nobody can explain it, but he gives us a dummy version of Purusha. Through the understanding of Iswara, through the understanding the special case of Purusha, we can understand the essence of Purusha. The next sutra about Iswara is Tatra Niratisayang Sarvajika Bijam. In it, in Iswara is the seed of the omniscience. That means ultimately all the knowledge originate in Iswara. That means it is the seed of knowledge. And the third one is very important. Purveshamapi guruhu kalena anavacheda. For better understanding, we can divide it in two parts. One part is Purveshamapi guruhu, and the next part is kalena anavacheda. Now, kalena anavacheda means Iswara is not divided by time. Now, why? Why is Iswara not divided by time? Because it is, I mean, Iswara is Purusha Vishesha, and Purusha is Anadi Ananta, beginningless and endless. And that is why Iswara is also Anadi and Ananta, beginningless and endless, and that is why you can't divide it by time. You can only divide it by, you can only divide anything by time if it has, the beginning and the end, origin and the destruction. We can divide our lifespan. It's the childhood, then the young age, then the older age. But something which doesn't have any beginning and doesn't have any end, that is why you can't divide it by the time. And the next part is Purveshamapi Guruhu. Purveshamapi Guruhu. Iswara is the master of all the masters, even the ancient masters. Now, to understand the beauty of this part of the sutra, we have to understand the Guru. Who is Guru? We told you that Guru, Gu means the darkness and Ru means the light. So Guru is that person who can lead us, who can guide us to move from the darkness to the light, from the ignorance to the knowledge. Now the beauty is, one man becomes Guru when he has knowledge. If I don't have knowledge, then I will not be a Guru. So Guru can lead us on the basis of the knowledge. As he has the knowledge, that is why he can lead us. If one man doesn't have knowledge, then he can't do the duty of the Guru. And the previous sutra said that Tatra Niratisang Sarvagya Bijam, all the knowledge originates in Iswara. That is why the Iswara is the source of the knowledge, but the Gurus are the bearer of the knowledge, not the source of the knowledge. And that is why Iswara is the master of the masters. Actually, Iswara makes Guru, as it is the seed of all knowledge. So now you have understood that what is Iswara. So Iswara is the special case of Purusha. That means, again, it's a dummy version of Purusha. And through the understanding of these three sutras, you can understand what is your goal. Right? Now, the question is, students have understood what is Iswara, but now students have a question. Question is, sir, we have understood what is Iswara, but what is Iswarapranidhana? You have said earlier that you are going to teach us another method for controlling the chitta vrittis, and now you are trying to teach us what is Iswara, but now please concentrate on the main topic, what is Iswarapranidhana. Please concentrate on the technique through which we can remove our chitta vritti. Now the Iswarapranidhana is very important term in Yoga Sutra, in Patanjali Yoga, because it is prescribed as an independent path for Samadhi. Again, it is recorded in the list of niyamas. Again, it is enlisted as a anga, of Kriya Yoga. And that is why this term is so important for us. Now, Iswara Pranidhana has two parts. One is Iswara and one is Pranidhana. And we have already understood what is Iswara. So now we have to understand what is the meaning of the Pranidhana. And Pranidhana means total surrendering. Again, Vyasa in his Vyasavasya says that total surrendering means you have to surrender all your actions as well as all the fruits of your actions to the Iswara. So, Iswara Pranidhana means a total surrendering by giving up all your duties and by giving up all the fruits of your duties to Iswara. You can't put here T and C. It is unconditional surrendering without putting any term and condition. So if you can surrender without putting T and C, then it is the path of Iswara. Now we have to understand through the sutras. And now to explain the Iswarapranidhana, Patanjali has taken two sutras. One is Tasya Vachakah Pranavaha, then Tajjapatadartha Bhavana. Very beautiful sutra. Tasya, that means Iswarasya, Vachakah Pranavaha. So the verbal expression of Iswara is Pranava. So Pranava is the sound symbol of Iswara. Patanjali knows that if I instruct my students to concentrate on Iswara, then they will leave the path of yoga. Because Iswara is something special case of Purusha. He is beyond the Klesha Karma, Vipaka Asaya, he is Guru, he is the masters of the masters. We can't get it. And again, it is a matter of Saguna Upasana and Nirguna Upasana. Patanjali knows that maximum student need a form, need a gross form. A few students will be there who can understand the message of Iswara, the nature of Iswara, and they can go through the Iswara, go through the meditating on Iswara. But maximum can't. And that is why Patanjali gives us a sound symbol, a gross form of Iswara, so that we can start our concentration, our meditation on Iswara. Now the sound symbol is Pranava, and we all know Pranava is equal to Omkar. So we must have a solid idea about the sound symbol of Iswara. That means we have to understand the meaning of Pranavaha, we have to understand the meaning of Omkar. Pranava, the word Pranava again has two parts, one is pra and one is nava. The pra, the prefix means absolutely or rapidly, and now nava, which derives from the root nu, has two meanings. One is to worship, and second one is to lead. Now the meaning of Pranava are: one, it is absolute worshipping. Better to say, it is an intensive worshipping. And secondly, Pranava is something which leads us towards our goal rapidly, quickly. So this is the meaning of Pranava. So through the meditation on Pranava, we can achieve our goal rapidly. We can achieve our goal completely. And the second one is Omkara. Again, you know that Omkara is a very powerful word, powerful sound in our Shastras. And if you go through, there are so many explanations are there. And at this moment, I can explain more or less 25 significance of Omkara, but we don't have time. So I will present only one or two. So different branches of Indian knowledge system have different comments, different analysis about Omkara. If you go through the Vedic tradition, then according to Veda, Om means union of three sounds A, U, and Ma, right? Om, A, U, and Ma. Now, according to Vedic tradition, A means or represents Rigveda, U represents Yajurveda, and Ma represents the Samaveda. And thus, Omkara signifies the entire wisdom of Vedic literature. Again, according to Purana, A represents Brahma, the creator, U represents Vishnu, the protector, Ma represents Shiva, the destroyer. So, thus, according to Purana, Omkara signifies the entire system of the creation from the origin to the destruction. Again, according to Vedanta, A represents Vaishyanara, the master of this gross world. U represents Hiranyagarbha, the master of this subtle world. And Ma represents the consciousness, and thus Omkara signifies the entire system of cosmology. So there are so many explanations are there, and this Omkara is the sound symbol of Iswara. Now, what to do? Tajjapa tadartha bhavanam. Tajjapa tadartha bhavanam. Again, this sutra has different translations, different discussions we have, but we will go through the popular one. Tajjapa. Now your duty is continuous and repeated recital of Omkara or Pranava, the sound symbol of Iswara. And again, Tadartha Bhavanam, meditation on its meaning. Now you have the idea about the meaning of Pranava or Omkara. So only Omkara chanting is not enough. You have to meditate on its meaning. Actually, if we analyze, then we can realize that this sutra is actually teaches the technique of japa sadhana, which is very close to the technique of nadanusandhana in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. You all know that japa can be done by three ways. One is Vaikhari, then the second one is Upangshu, and third one is Manasa. Vaikhari means uttered by mouth in audible sound. If I say Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, this is the Vaikhari with sound. Next one is Upangshu. That means whispering sound, which is audible to one's own ear. If I say, you can't hear my chanting, but I can hear my own chanting. This is the Upangshu japa. And the next one is Manasa japa, which is totally mental and it doesn't produce any sound. Now one must start his journey, must start his japa sadhana from the Vaikhari, and he must uplift himself up to the Manasa state of japa. And if he continues the Manasa japa, then suddenly or gradually reaches a state where he can hear some very sweet and smooth sound which comes from the mystical source, and now his chitta is dissolved into that sound and it enters into the deep state of dhyana and samadhi. This is the technique. And in this way, you can perform your Iswara Pranidhana, and in this way, you can touch the ultimate sound, the ultimate knowledge, the ultimate state. Now, again, he wants to teach us the result of Iswara Pranidhana because we are ignorant people. Without knowing the result, we can't do it, we don't do anything. That is why Patanjali says what is the result of Ishvara Pranidhana. He says Tata Pratyak Chetanadhigama Pyantaraya Bhavasya. Again, it's a very beautiful sutra. Two parts. We have two parts, and this sutra gives us two results of Ishvara Pranidhana. First one is Pratyak Chetanadhigama, and second one is Antaraya Bhava. Now, see the beauty. I would like to mention the meaning of these words. Pratyak, that means inwards. Chetana, that means awareness. And adhigama, that means attainment. So, Pratyak Chetana Adhigama, that means attainment of the inward awareness. Better to say, it is the power of introspection. So we can say that through Iswara Pranidhana, the power of introspection will grow more and more. And only through introspection we can rectify ourselves. And we can make ourselves more perfect, more eligible. So we will have the power of introspection through the Iswara Pranidhana. And the second one is Antaraya Bhavasya. It will destroy all the physical and mental obstacles in the path of yoga. So through Iswara Pranidhana, we can reduce, we can curve the obstacles in the path of yoga, and we can move forward very smoothly. And at the end, we will reach the samadhi. So this is the brief concept of Iswara and Iswara Pranidhana. Now, if you have any question, if you need clarity, then please ask. Have you understood the concept? Any question from anyone?
I have got one question, sir.
Yes, please.
This is the ultimate, sir, is it the ultimate thing which we have to get, which we have to achieve? This is what Ishwar Pradhana is, or beyond this also is something else? This is the last.
Actually, I want to mention something. Actually, we generally say that samadhi is the highest target. We generally say the samadhi is the highest target. But if you go through Yoga Sutra, if you go through yoga philosophy, if you go through all the texts of yoga philosophy, then samadhi is the starting point of that kind of knowledge, the starting point of supreme knowledge. We have to achieve so many layers. You have to experience so many layers, and that is why Patanjali has used the term samadhi. Again, he has used the term kaivalya. Kaivalya is the pinnacle of the samadhi. We have to remember very carefully that samadhi is not the target. We have to go up to the pinnacle of the samadhi, and pinnacle of the samadhi is called kaivalya. So, through the understanding of Iswara, we can move forward. We can, we can enter into the territory of Samadhi. But then again, the journey is automatic. Journey is yours, and we don't have any technique to explain that how should you travel from the beginning of Samadhi to the pinnacle of the Samadhi. So we may have different levels of samadhi, different level of concentration, but Kaivalya comes at the end, and it is the pinnacle of the highest peak of the samadhi. When you don't have, any chance to come back here again, and that is why so many terms are there: Sampratigata samadhi, Asampratigata samadhi, Savija samadhi, Nirvija samadhi. There are so many terms, and we will have a class on samadhi also. So samadhi has so many terms, that means samadhi has so many layers. But Kaivalya is one and ultimate. We generally say that samadhi is the goal of yoga, but it is not. If you want to make a perfect comment, then you have to say that the Kaivalya is the ultimate goal of yoga. Better to say the highest peak of samadhi, which is called Kaivalya, is the ultimate goal of yoga. Okay.
So then what is the special case of Purusha then? What is that
What is
speciality
the
of that
special
Purusha?
case of Purusha? Look, Patanjali makes our journey very easy, because if we say that our target is Purusha, then we don't have any idea about our target, and you have to move forward without any idea of your goal. You don't know what is your goal. Purusha, yes, Purusha, pure consciousness. It is the ultimate. It is the highest knowledge. It is the supreme knowledge. It is the supreme being. But what is this? Supreme, yes, supreme. But what is supreme? What is the nature of supremacy? Purusha, we can't teach. We can't teach. We can't explain. We don't have any text which can teach you that what is Purusha, because it is beyond our capacity. We don't have any words to define the ultimate state to Purusha. And that is why in Vedanta there are 4 types of words: Paravak, Pasyantivak, Vaikharivak, Para, Pasyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. Paravak, Pasyantivak, Madhyamavak, Vaikharivak. Paravak is the supreme vak, supreme word, which doesn't have any symbol like A, B, C, D, कुछ नहीं है. It is a supreme vak, the supreme word. Now the Pashyanti is when Paravak, the supreme word, manifests itself in front of the Munis, then we can understand that what is the supremacy. Then we have an idea, and basic idea about the supremacy, and it is called the Veda. Then that is why it is the Veda is Apaurusha. It is not written by any Purusha, because the supreme word, the Parabhak, manifests itself in front of the Munis, Rishis, the seers. Now, through the understanding of the Pashyanti Bhak, you may have an idea about the supreme Bhak. And the supreme state, that is why to explain the supreme state, we don't have any word. How can we explain? But we are fortunate enough that Patanjali has given an idea through Iswara. We have at least a dummy version. If you go to the mobile shop, and if you want to buy a mobile, They will not open a seal pack for you. But we are fortunate that dummy version is there. That is why we can make an idea that yes, this mobile, I am going to buy this kind of mobile. And Iswari is that dummy version. No one can explain what is the Purusha. No one can explain. It is the state of experience. Only we can experience the supreme state. Parabha cannot be taught, cannot be explained, because it is the highest subtle one. So we can't express it through the gross words, gross letters, gross sound. And that is why Patanjali has given up. He tries to give an idea. And again, he knows that we will be confused. That is why he gives the sound symbol of Iswara, more gross term. If you understand the Omkara, then you will have the understanding of Iswara. If you know that Omkara, the three sound, is the science of cosmology, it is the science of the creation, it is the science of Vedic wisdom, then you can able to receive the receive the vibration of that knowledge. Okay, and at the end it manifests itself in front of you. Okay, that is why Yoga Sutra is so beautiful text, and it is called the Bible of yoga philosophy. Without understanding of Yoga Sutra, you can't move forward, because it is the Bible of the yoga philosophy. And one of the great contribution of Patanjali is the concept of Iswara and Iswarapranidhana. And that is why he has used 3 times this term. He has used the term 3 times. One, for a single path, as a single path. Secondly, as a limbs of niyamas. And third one, as a limb of the Kriya Yoga. Again, actually, it is the concept of Bhakti Yoga. It is nothing but the concept of Bhakti Yoga. You have to surrender yourself without putting T and C, with giving all the your karmas and karma phalas. That means again, it is the message of Bhakti Yoga, but in different form. Okay.
So the Brahmam in, I'm sorry, the Brahmam in Bhakti Yoga is this, is it Ishvara or Purusha, sir? Here, when we come in.
Brahman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now again, don't mix
Confused.
all these philosophies, because yoga and Sankhya are allied science, but they have debate on Iswara. According to Vedanta, is the path of knowledge. Vedanta doesn't admit Iswara or something else. Brahma Sapta Jagat Mitha Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Brahma is the real one. Jagat Mitha means not real, not unreal. If you want to see it as real, then it is real. If you want to see it as unreal, then it is unreal. So that is why it is Sadasatbham. And the last one is Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. We all are the supreme being. We are nothing but the supreme being. Again, Nyaya has accepted the theory of Iswara in different way, but they have accepted. They have accepted. I mean, Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they have accepted. Okay, but Advaita Vedanta doesn't count the Iswara. There is only one, which Brahman, which derived from Bingha Dhatu, that is totally expanded, something which is totally expanded, and who is, that is why our Great Shankaracharya has given two types of definitions of Brahman. One is Kutastha, one is Tatastha Lakshana, one is Swarupa Lakshana. Tatastha means as we can't define Supreme Being, that is why Tatastha is that Lakshana, that definition through which we can understand that what is not Brahman. What is Brahman? No. What is not Brahman? And then he has explained Swarupa Lakshana, Satchidananda. It is not the not the definition of Brahman, not the nature of Brahman, but something about Brahman, depending on which we can carry forward your journey. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
in Marathi, there were Santa Parampara, you must be knowing.
Yeah.
So the Abhangas in which they have explained it, like in Marathi बोलू का सर जरा?
हाँ sure, बोलिए ना.
अवघेची वैकुंठ चतुर्भुज टाइप, मतलब वैकुंठ है वो पूरा मुझे लाइक ईश्वर जैसे ही लग रहा था पूरा. एंड दूसरा बहुत सारे, मुझे अभी दो ही याद आ रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं जब भी सामने बैठा हूँ लाइक इन फ्रंट ऑफ ईश्वर, आई कुडंट अंडरस्टैंड वेदर ही इज देयर और नहीं, और वो और मैं एक ही हूँ. व्हाट इज दैट स्टेज लाइक?
That state is called samapatti.
अच्छा.
The samapatti, when meditator is trying to become one with the meditating object, it's called samapatti, and there are so many layers are in samapatti. मैं आपको एक स्टोरी बताना चाहता हूँ. विष्णु पुराण का एक स्टोरी है जहाँ पे एक राजा था जो खुद को वासुदेव समझता था और उसकी तरह वो जो डुप्लीकेट हाथ वाला वो चक्र लेके घूमता था.
Sir, please explain in English, sir. I don't understand.
Okay. So there was a king who claimed that I am the Vasudeva. I am Vasudeva Sri Krishna. And he made artificial forehands, artificial chakra. But Krishna is smiling. And now Lakshmi ji asked, why are you smiling? He is, your enemy. He is saying that I am Lord Sri Krishna. Now Lord Sri Krishna says that no, he is actually in samapatti state. He can't discriminate that Krishna is something other and I am something other. Right? Now he is at the state of samapatti. He thinks that I am speaking, that means Lord Sri Krishna is speaking. I am thinking, that means the Lord Sri Krishna is thinking. I am the Lord Sri Krishna. So this is the state of samapatti.
There is a sutra, no sir, Ananta Samapati.
Ananta Samapati.
Ananta Samapati in Yoga Sutra.
And there are so many savichara, nirvichara, all these layers are there.
So Iswara Pranidhana comes first and then Samadhi.
Yes, Samadhi.
That is the ultimate stage. Kaivalya.
Samadhi is the starting of the ultimate state.
Starting of the.
Starting of the
Kaivalya
ultimate
is
state.
the pinnacle.
Kaivalya is the ultimate state.
Yes. Understood.
Anyone? Any other question from anyone? Okay,
So,
yes, please.
I'm sorry. So now Pranava, meditating on the Pranava. So there are again versions like, are we supposed to meditate on Om or on A-U-M?
Yes, you have to meditate according, you have to chant according to and there are so many techniques that you must start from the from your navi, and then you must uplift it. There are so many techniques are there.
We'll be doing that technique in the practical session.
Yes.
Thank you.
Om chanting has different techniques, and you have to chant and you have to meditate on its meaning. That means if you go through the Vedanta, then you have to try to feel that means the Vaishyanara. That means you are trying to touch the Vaishyanara, the master of the gross world. U means when you are chanting U, that means you have to you must try to touch the vibration of the Hiranyagarbha. So in this way, you can meditate on the meaning of the Omkara, and in this way, you can fulfill the condition of Iswara Pranidhana. Okay. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. And sir,
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.